As of starting this recording, it is 2:42 p.m. And the first thing I want to say before we start talking is at the end of the video, I'm going to be talking about some important things just about the channel. If you don't care about that, or if you don't really, watch this channel a lot, then don't worry about that. But for the people who actually enjoy my content, at the end is going to be some important information. But today, we're going to be talking about, I guess, multiple things. But some things that I have been, exposed to recently, and that kind of leads into the end of the video. But today, I'm going to be talking about cancer, and not really just cancer. I'm not going to be explaining what cancer is, but I'm going to be more explaining and talking about how, as someone who experiences the problems of having family members that have cancer, or having to go through cancer with someone else, so I don't personally have cancer, but a lot of people close to me have cancer, and having to kind of watch them go through it, I'm kind of just going to talk about how that makes me feel, and kind of, I think, the normalities of the feeling that you get. But I guess let's jump right into it. This is kind of an awkward topic for me, because obviously I'm going through it right now, so I'll just try and just kind of bear with me. There may be a lot of ranting. But I think the biggest thing is that cancer is obviously, there's many different kinds and there's many different stages. So before you even get into finding out someone has cancer is one of the biggest, it's one of the hardest things to get through, I think, is finding out someone has cancer. And once you figure that out and you kind of, I guess, get past that, it becomes easier. But you have that step, and then you find out, what kind of cancer it is, or which stage it is, how far it is, where it is. Obviously, there's different kinds of cancer that are more dangerous. Obviously, brain cancer is way more dangerous than, like prostate cancer. And that's not to downgrade prostate cancer or any other kind of cancer. I'm just saying that there's different kinds of cancer that can be and are more deadly. But no matter what you're going through, cancer is a really hard thing to go through. And so I'm basically just going to be talking about like how it makes me feel. And just, I guess, how I deal with it, and hopefully it can help people out there. Recently, someone that I love was diagnosed with cancer, and it could be really hard because you could be really pessimistic about it, and you can really look at it and say, oh, well, this is the end, like there's no turning back from it, I guess. But that's not the way to look at it. You should look at it as, with the time they have left, you need to cherish that and spend it to the best of your ability with them. But I found out about this person, like, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I remember initially finding it out, like, it was really hard, just because I love this person, and I'm so close with them. And I think another really hard thing to go through is people who have cancer don't like talking about it. And I think a lot of people don't really want a pity party. They don't want people saying, oh, I'm so sorry, because that's really not going to change anything. And it honestly is just a reminder of how nothing's going to change for them. And I think that could be really hard. But it's hard for the people who can't talk about it. Like me, I want to talk with him and, say, like, how can I help? Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I love you and everything like that. And when they don't want that, you can't really, obviously I'm not going to force him or her to do that, but it could just be really hard for the person to experience that. And I think that also, like I said, it's really easy to be negative about the whole thing. So instead of just saying, I'm really happy that you have this long, like, let's just say, oh, I'm really happy you have 2 or 3 years left. It could be really easy to say, wow, you only have 2 or 3 years left, when you could have had 10 or 20. And it's just like, it honestly makes me want to cry, so I don't know if I will, I don't know. But it's really hard to, like, especially with somebody who's really close to you, just dealing with the pain of that. And on top of just life, like life itself is not easy. And life has so many bumps and bruises and turns, and it doesn't stop. So you find out your family member has cancer, and the world keeps spinning. Nothing stops for you. You can't just stop going to work. You can't just stop going to school. Life keeps spinning. And I think that, like, the not being able to do anything about it, being powerless, and not being able to help this person, it just is so hard. Sorry, I need to turn my brightness up so you can see my face. It could be so hard to just sit there and almost just watch it happen and feel completely powerless. And you're just there kind of watching them pass away. And it could just happen instantly. I mean, the family member that has cancer that I'm trying to help and everything. I've known him for like my whole life basically since I've been 2 or 3, I think, and he was fine a month ago. He didn't show any signs. I would have never. The last thing I would have thought of is that he had cancer, and then it just jumped on top of it. It jumped on top of him, jumped on top of us, and that it's just so unpredictable. Like, for instance, when you get a cold, you can kind of tell sometimes. Like, you get the sniffles, and you like get a cough or a sore throat. But for cancer, and I'm not saying for all the time, but for a lot of the time, you literally go in for a physical or something, or you go in and just get something checked, and they're like, "Oh, there's something wrong," and then they find it, and it could just turn. It's so crazy to me because cancer is such a violent thing, but it's so passive until you find it, and that really really sucks. But if I had any advice to give, even though it's so hard, I would just say to stay strong. I think it's good to talk about it. I think it's like so important to talk about it. I think it's important to talk about it with people you love and people you care about, and especially the person, because if you don't talk about it, both of you are just holding that burden, and you can't really share that burden with someone else. And I think sharing that burden is something that you need to do, even though it's really hard. I mean, I know, just like I obviously don't know from experience, but I can almost kind of perceive how scary that can be just from like experience with like I once, and this is nothing close, but I once like stabbed a knife through my hand, and it's the not knowing is scary. Like I didn't know if I hit a nerve or a ligament or something, like, and that's scary. And I think if you find out you have cancer, or you find out someone in your family has cancer and you don't know a lot about it, that could be the hardest thing. And I think that's why like talking about it is really important, so that everyone knows, like, this is, just lay it all out. And it can be really hard, but you just need to lay everything out. You need to just be honest. Because for me, I don't know a lot. So I'm sitting here as we speak, and I'm getting emotional because I don't know how long this person has. I don't know how long I'll be able to, love them, and them knowing that I love them. And I don't know how long, I just don't know, period. I don't know enough. And that's really hard because it leaves me so I can't, like I just don't know. So I don't have any information. I just have to sit here and just know that someday, randomly, it's just going to be, he's gone. And it sucks too because, like, I think cancer is really hard to talk about. I mean, I know it's hard to talk about because I have someone who's going through it. It's a sensitive subject because a lot of people lose family members to cancer, and it's just overall a terrible thing. And it makes me question, why would a God, if there's a God that's supposed to love us, why would they let someone you love hurt so much? And like I had another family member years ago. She actually survived cancer, but she had to go through chemo, and that could be the hardest thing because you try and interact with them, and I guess like love them, and they just sometimes don't show it back, or they don't have the energy to like do things that they used to be able to, and you get mad at them because like they're not themselves because they're just in pain. and you can't, but it's just so hard. It's obviously hard for the person who has cancer, but I think a lot of times it's overlooked just to the people who are dealing with the person, not dealing with the person who has cancer, but like the bystanders of it. Like I'm not related by blood to this person that has cancer, but like they're basically my parent. So like me having to deal with that and me not being a blood relative, like I don't get to know everything that family members get to know. So I just have to sit back and I don't know, hope and pray. I don't even know who I'm praying to, but I've been praying. But I mean, I guess there's no reason to cry. Like that's what I've been telling myself. There's no reason to cry, and it's okay to be hurting. It's okay to feel the pain. Like that's how I've been. I've just been for and that's honestly why I didn't upload yesterday. I just didn't have the energy. I just didn't really want to. I just didn't have the drive. I just wanted to kind of lay there and do nothing, just because sometimes you feel like that. Sometimes you just don't want to, you know, do anything. You just want to lay there and, I guess, accept it. I needed to take time to just process it. Because I think that's another thing that you could touch upon is you can't push it to the back of your mind. Because that was the first thing I did, is I pushed it to the back of my mind. You know, I was fine. I was uploading videos and everything, like, and then it just kind of hit me yesterday, like I remember I just woke up, I stayed up late, obviously, to record the videos, and when I woke up, it just hit me, just, like, knowing that he's going through that, and knowing that I literally can't do anything about it, so it sucked. But, again, even though I can't just say don't cry, I don't think it's I mean, I think it's helpful to cry, of course, so obviously get any tears out that you need to get out, but I don't think you can't spend if this is something where it's, you know, because not all cancer cases are, you know, it's just, like, terminated. Some people live, obviously, they get lucky, but some people don't. So if you are with someone who either doesn't have a lot of time, or you just, when you're around them, you're just depressed and sad because you know that they're not going to make it as long as they were, don't do that, because as hard as it is to be happy around them, imagine being in their place. You want them to be happy. You want to spend the last time you have happy. So it's okay for me to come home and cry, or it's okay for me to come home and, you know, just put myself in my room by myself and just kind of relax and process everything. But when you're out and about, you can't be depressed about it. When you're with them, you can't be depressed about it, because it's not going to solve anything, and all you're going to do is add more pain to the situation. So yeah, I guess, like, I don't really have anything else I want to say. I didn't even really want to talk about it, but I think it's going to help me to kind of vent to you listening. And I think it'll help you as well if you don't really know, if you're in a position like me and you don't really know what to do. I hope that I can help you. But that aside, so all that's done. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. This right now is what I was going to talk about at the beginning of the video. I talked about this. So I'm probably not going to be uploading as much, like probably not daily, just because of, like I just told you, everything that's happening. I just don't really have the time, honestly. And the time that I'm spending on this, I'd rather spend with the person. So I'm not going to, I may be uploading as much, I don't know. I'm just trying to let you know that if you expect me to upload every day, I don't think you do. But if you do expect me to upload every day and you kind of are looking forward to that, that's not going to happen, most likely. Or it may not happen. So when it doesn't happen, just, you know, I guess, bear with me. And then I am also starting school soon, of course, and I'll keep updates coming as that comes, but since I'm starting school soon, I'm in my junior year of high school, and I'm taking a lot of heavy classes, so I just also, that's another time where there's no way that I'm going to be able to upload daily. Most likely, when that time comes, it's going to be weekends, and sometimes on weekdays, if I have time or energy, honestly. So I'll try my best. Obviously, on breaks, I'll upload as much as I can, probably like 2 or 3 times a day. if I like on like Christmas break, or like if you have an Easter break, because I have an Easter break, I'll do that on there, and then obviously over the summer. So just again, bear with me. I'll try my best. I'm definitely going to keep uploading, but I'm not going to be doing as much just because with school and everything, I just can't. And yeah, school's important. So yeah, but anyway, also another thing, I'm going to be doing a Dead by Daylight video in the next upcoming days because that's my most popular video on this channel, and it's been the most popular since it came out. It's just been on the top for a really long time. So I'm going to do another Dead by Daylight video, so that's something to look forward to. And besides that, I don't really think I have anything else to say. I just want to say thank you if you are. I mean, of course, I'm not talking to thousands of people, but thank you to my small community for just kind of bearing with me, and I appreciate it. And I hope that our community grows. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I would appreciate that. Drop a like if you liked it, and if you didn't like it, drop a dislike and let me know why you didn't like it. But anyway, again, I'm sorry I got a little bit emotional, but that's going to happen sometimes. But whatever the case, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.